Hey everyone, welcome back to J plus K Retro Gaming channel. This week I'll be playing number 5 on IGN's all-time grossing Atari games, E.T.
Hello? Somebody out there? E.T. Video game?
It's the video game that lets you pretend you're E.T., running away from secret agents, falling into danger, finding a phone to call home, and discovering the best thing on earth, a friend. E.T., only from Atari.
When I first saw that this game was on IGN's list, I was really excited to play this game. I'd never played it before. I actually bought this as a present for my wife. She's a big E.T. fan. So really excited. High anticipation for this much maligned game. So before we get into the gameplay, a little background on the storied history of E.T. It is an action-adventure game developed by Atari and of course based on the hit movie, E.T. Although it's number 5 on Atari 2600's top grossing list, I don't think it makes anyone's top playing list, as it's widely known as one of the worst video games in history. So in 1982, there was a lot of pressure to develop this game and quickly rush it onto the market before Christmas of 1982. Which I think led to the demise of the game. It was rushed. There was a lot of aspects of the game that weren't finished, and I believe the developers, the people who worked on it later on, came out and said that the guys at the top just wanted them to get it out, whether it was a good game or not. And there's even more bad news for E.T. It's often cited as one of the major reasons for the 1983 video game crash. There's actually a documentary out there. I'll try to link it if I can find it in the description below. My wife and I watched it. It's about E.T. and finding the cartridges, the urban legend that they buried it in the New Mexican desert. So in that documentary, they interview a lot of people from Atari, a lot of fanboys, even Ernest Cline from Ready Player One. He actually drove out there in his DeLorean. There were crowds of hundreds and hundreds of people lined up from dawn, waiting to see the excavation, to see if they could find some E.T. cartridges. I'm not going to spoil it, so go check out that documentary if you want to learn more about the history of this game and also the urban legend of the cartridges. So once again, I did not play this game as a kid in the 80s, nor as an adult, so I'm really excited to see how this game does in the 5-minute challenge and to play one of the worst video games of all time. So that was E.T. on the Atari 2600. And yes, it does pass the 5-minute challenge. Not as bad as I thought. So quickly, let's run through the ratings. So for audio and music, I'm going to give E.T. 8 out of 10. So for the sound effects, nothing groundbreaking here. It's the usual ubiquitous Atari 2600 sounds, those sounds that they use over and over in all their games. But this game does get the 8 just for having the E.T. theme, which for me, and probably some of you out there, has a small place in my heart, and it was awesome to hear. So 8 out of 10, mostly for the theme. So for video and graphics, I'm gonna give this game 7 out of 10. Again, nothing too groundbreaking here for the Atari 2600. A lot of the same color blocking schemes, but the actual characters, the enemies, the guys that come take E.T. to jail, even Elliot were really well done. You could actually tell who and what they were supposed to be. But I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not sure why they made E.T. that weird greenish color. I'm sure they could have made him a darker brown or darker shade of brown. I'm not sure if that was part of the rushing of the game to production, but definitely a miss there. But after time runs out and E.T. kind of flops over, he turns white, so they did get that color right. Almost a little too hauntingly accurate. No one likes to see it when E.T.'s dying and his colors turning more pale. But overall, 7 out of 10 for graphics. Now on to all-important gameplay. And as I sat back after my 5 minutes of playing, I kind of went back and forth whether I really like this game or not. It definitely, as I said before, passes the 5-minute challenge. I do want to go back and revisit this game again to explore it further. But for gameplay, I think I'm going to give this game 6 out of 10. So not as bad as I feared it would be, and maybe it's because of all of the hype. I was going into this game with rock bottom expectations, so that maybe helped the score a little bit, but definitely it wasn't a crazy fun game. It was kind of hard to figure out what to do. I know there was pellets that I think we needed to bring back home, and as I grabbed the pellets, the enemies would try to come take them from me. And also, if you fell into the pit, you had to fly out using extending his neck. So I had to figure that out a little bit. As I said before, more exploration. Maybe after I get the hang of it, this could be a fun game. But for this 5-minute challenge, 6 out of 10 for gameplay. So with all the ratings in, I'm going to give E.T. for the Atari 2600 6.5 invaders out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. As always, love the interaction in the comments. If you played this game before, do you think it's one of the worst games of all time? Actually didn't mind it, and I probably could think of 10 or 20 other games that are worse than this. Maybe it was just the timing and obviously the rushing to market that gave it a bad rap. So thank you all for watching. Thanks to all our subscribers for all your support. We'll see you next week on the next 5-minute gameplay challenge. Until then, keep fit and have fun. Bye.
The video game that lets you help E.T. get home. Just in time for Christmas. Happy holidays from Atari.